Welcome to the Off Task Cast podcast.
Hello.
And that's as good as it is.
Featuring Owen, aka Opie,
Does it matter?
Michael, aka Genderbender, me, and Ashton, aka Thick Boy,
Yeah, great.
aka my
Yeah,
brother.
I'll be over here cringing my ass off.
Yeah, use the Discord names, which they won't be shown.
Exactly.
I.
Literally the most pointless thing.
Just,
Well, that's what I did. I said Ashton, aka Thick Boy.
Might as
Yeah,
well
I'm being
just say
sarcastic.
our Twitch names or something.
Anyway, first topic to talk about, which is the podcast name. Last time we decided it was voted upon the relatables, but it was taken.
Yes.
And then it was the Off Task
Yeah.
podcast.
So they had to fucking veto it and put their favorite thing. I think they just made a new account just to.
Oh no.
They already made
A new
the
account that has like 300 subscribers, because that's possible.
Can I finish a sentence?
Yes.
Sorry.
And the Off Task
what I was
podcast,
saying.
which was the second option, was also taken. So we went for an option that wasn't on the list, the Off Task Cast.
Oh well then.
So really, I got I got what I wanted, and then it got ripped out of my hands.
Yes. I think I wanted the relatables. Or it's something along the lines of
Yeah,
that. Off
me
Task
and Michael
podcast.
wanted the relatables, but me more than anyone, considering it was my name, my title I made up.
Well, do you know what the funny thing was?
And
Michael was on for the Off Task podcast as well, so I don't know what his opinion is anymore.
I think Owen's option was the off-cast task, and I said off-task podcast, and then Aston said relatables.
Yeah,
We couldn't do the relatables because it was taken. We couldn't do the off-cast, so we had to do the off-cast podcast. I'm pretty sure.
pretty much. And
Yeah, it's my idea was taken.
Okay, well, I currently have an adorable little kitten who's just sat on top of my mouse right now.
Just trying to eat it,
Aw,
kick it.
I will not be
Micah.
kicking my cat. She will be adorable and fluffy and laying on my mouse for all time to come.
yeah, so now that we've actually got a name, we also have a proper YouTube channel. And
Which will
Hey.
be in the link of Aston's TTV when he decides to do it,
What?
and a
and vice versa on TikTok and YouTube.
yeah, we also have a TikTok and a Twitch. The Twitch account probably won't be used until it gets a few more follows.
Basically leeching off my viewers to
Yeah.
fucking.
Shut up.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, both the links for the TikTok and the Twitch will be in the description of the YouTube video.
And vice versa for TikTok, it'll be in the link, and then vice versa for the Twitch.
Yeah. So next topics. There was a good one we need to talk about the podcast a bit more, but I've lost it.
I wish my OBS made things a little bit easier. Because I'm recording and streaming this, I can't. One OBS has to deal with it showing my entire screen, while the other one gets to see the game and game only. So I have to think of like, okay, what's more important? What should be able to see the game at all times? OBS or Streamlabs OBS? And I don't know. I just made it so it was OBS, the recording. What do you think, guys? Should I have Streamlabs OBS set for the game and just OBS, which is recording, set for the screen?
Well, I don't know, whatever works best, because remember the recording has to only have the game and nothing additional, so as long as it got that.
So the OBS is... Yeah, it's just annoying.
So, Aston, you said you wanted to talk about something.
I mean,
At dinner.
if we've gotten everything out of the way, we can talk. I can talk about it. But now I feel a little bit awkward about talking about it. My
How?
cat's just fallen asleep on my table. Because the atmosphere of what's here, I suppose.
What? You playing a game? You're streaming?
No. Don't worry about it. Basically, I don't know. It just came to my head while I was cooking because I had to think of something while I was cooking, and thing that came to my head was
Oops.
like no, actually.
That's Evans.
Mhm. Um. Shit. Um. Would you?
Oh, fuck.
Okay. It's more like a red button. Would you press the red button situation?
Okay.
You're immortal.
Yes.
Everything that happens to you still hurts, but like it doesn't do any permanent damage.
Yes.
However, and you can't die. No matter what happens to you, you can't die. You can feel it, but like nothing permanent, no permanent damage comes to you. Um, but you have to live through the very beginning of the universe. As in, you have to like before even the Big Bang and all that. You have to live there since since the very beginning, like and all the way until now. Of course, like you'll end up on Earth either way, but like, would you take it? Would
Uh,
you press the for immortality
would my memory be able to
with
sustain
your
all that?
memory, with your? Oh, you mean like you're able to remember everything?
Everything I experienced, at least, yeah.
What before going back in time, or like just
Your mind.
remembering the entire darkness and all that?
Well, from like the
So going
start.
back from this point, I'm at the age right now. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm thinking more like, yeah, I suppose you would, or maybe a case of you control your age. But fuck
I
it,
would
yeah, let's
do it
go with your age
because you would
now.
have the most richest company in existence.
I mean,
You could
you'd be able to
probably
make
you would
Facebook.
get so much shit done. You could make Facebook. You could make Bitcoin. You could
Okay,
do
okay.
everything. You could be the
As that
ruler of the
too,
world,
as
basically.
yes, but you've got to. You seem to be forgetting something. You have to live through, like, I don't know, trillions of years,
Hmm.
trillions of years, maybe even before the Big Bang happened. Eh?
Um,
What if like you have to wait trillions of years, trillions of years of darkness, not even being able to see your own hands. You just laying there. Say laying there. You're either standing or laying in space.
Well, because you would live past the dinosaurs and everything.
yeah.
Because if you
I
take
don't think Michael
damage,
fully understands.
I understand the Big Bang, trillions and trillions of years.
Mm-hmm. Would
You'd go down in
would you?
history.
What? No.
Just in general, you would go down in history. Because
Would you be able
Big
to
Bang would
mentally
happen.
handle it?
Most likely not.
No,
Because
no,
you'd be
hands
alone.
So
with
would you
fire.
do it? Would you do it? If you would you do it? Would you go back in time, but you're immortal?
If I
Before
forgot every human
Forgot?
person I've touched or
touched,
You mean interacted with?
interacted with,
I
if you
suppose.
forgot every single person you interacted with, and it was just you and your memories of what you did and no people, I could do it.
So if you weren't leaving behind Mum and Amy and all that, you could do it.
Yes.
But if you would have to remember Mum and Amy,
If I had
you
to
wouldn't be able to do
remember
it.
every single person I experienced, and they know I just disappeared randomly, out of trace, no reasoning, no nothing, then I couldn't live with it.
You think that you think that's what happens to people when they just disappear in China and all that? But they press the red button and all of a sudden they're just back in time. Like I'm talking. Okay, so let's say multiverse theory, where like you just blip out of existence, but you don't appear in our timeline. we don't ever see you again. Even if you manage to get through trillions and trillions and trillions of years before the Big Bang, you get through the Big Bang, you get through the dinosaurs age, you get to this exact moment in time, and we may not even be here. Mostly because of the butterfly effect, but like multiverse theory. As soon as you go back in
How high
time,
when you were thinking of this?
I was cooking chicken curry.
Are you sure there wasn't like a carbon monoxide leak or a gas leak?
You sure you
But
didn't put
like,
something
it's
weird in the curry?
what?
You sure you didn't put something weird in the curry?
I just taste tested it first.
I'm sure these were herbs.
Oh, fuck, the jarred chicken curry
These,
really
are,
does
these are some weird
wonders
looking
of your
mushrooms.
brain.
Ah, they'll be alright.
Think you put mushrooms in chicken curry?
Yeah.
Disgusting. How could you?
But like, would you be able to handle it? Would you be willing to do it? Like,
Yeah.
maybe even if you just forget everything about now, you just understand that you came from the 2021 and you understand how technology is. And you get to remember everything that happens after you going back in time. Literally everything.
Okay.
Would you do it?
Yeah.
Yes, I could do it.
Okay.
The life you would live and how impactful and the experience you would gain is inhuman. Literally.
Personally, I'd be more fascinated to just get the answers of everything that we don't have answers to.
Like how the universe started.
How
Because
the universe
that's how
started.
far back you're going to be going. You're
Yeah.
going to be going.
But you
before
could change the
universe started.
timeline so much by doing
You
it.
become the Big Bang.
I could see what dinosaurs actually look like.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. If that's a worry, how about you do not change anything? You know how in certain time travel situations in movies and all that, where like Mother Nature, like in Doctor Who, where Doctor Who saved the woman even though she was supposed to die on Mars, but he saved her, but she ended up killing herself anyway. What if it was a case of no matter what you did, everything would just come out the way it would be now?
I would take it,
no,
hands
still.
down, because I'd be in the same position I would be now.
Just to be observer.
Just with,
But you wouldn't be.
Yeah.
You would essentially be an observer. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Then-
you wouldn't even end up being with this family by the time you're back here, Michael. You would be. You'd probably be
I
somewhere
would be with the most expensive people in
Yeah.
existence.
I'll probably be a bit more
Like-
successful.
I could pay
You'd be the
millions
Illuminati.
for like an
you
hour
would be
of my
the
time.
Illuminati.
I would, yeah. You would most likely be the leader of the Illuminati. Holy fucking shit, Aston. Never say something ever again.
Why?
Because that could be something that has happened.
Well, you
Someone
think-
has
you think something
potentially
has
gone back
happened?
in time. Someone has potentially gone back in time, done that, and they are the leader of the Illuminati because they are so in own of their own brain and of what has happened ever. If
Am
you're
I
the
gonna get knocked on my
Illuminati,
door?
you have to be the same person.
Am I gonna get a knock on my door soon? Like the
Maybe not.
Illuminati just come freaking take me away because I figured them out.
Yeah. I mean, I would because I mean I can answer so many questions just observing. Like, for example, what did dinosaurs look like? Did they have feathers? T-Rex definitely didn't. Don't know why people still think that T-Rex had feathers. I mean, what would be the purpose of a fucking 8-ton reptile having feathers? But
Honestly, it would. Well, I obviously had a lot more time to think about this than you. I still haven't figured out whether or not I would take it though.
no, I got.
To lay there, the eons,
Yeah.
for trillions and trillions of years of doing nothing.
Yeah, that's just what you normally do, but longer.
Fuck you. But like, you don't have anything to entertain you except from your memories.
Yeah, my own mind's more than capable of doing that. I know what I'm talking about. Eventually I'll get numb to the pain of my tongue boiling up, the inside of my mouth boiling up, and it'll be fine. Which is what
Oh
happens
yeah,
in the void.
about that. Space, vacuum, and all that.
Yes.
You just be more
Like,
conscious.
would your body be able to acclimate?
What you said we were
Would you
immortal,
be able
so.
to- I suppose. But, like, you're
immortal,
immortal,
you
but
feel
you're
no pain.
in constant agonizing, mind-breaking pain.
Yeah.
You would get used to it after a
The-
while.
Yeah, after a few
Trillions
Your
of
body would just get
years.
used to it.
Yeah, that
Once
pain
you
always
do
numbs.
something, yeah.
It was,
Like you would get used to the
I
pain.
did,
after a
I
while.
did, I did come to that conclusion as well.
Your brain would just feel the pain and understand the pain and live with it.
You'd just
Yeah.
be completely numb. You're all of a sudden just immune to a vacuum. Vacuum. Congratulations, you've gained essentially superpowers, alien powers.
no, but it'd be that pain. If there's different pain, like,
Oh, that means you would have to go through the meteor, the ice age,
mm,
everything.
You would
Literally,
have to go through the pain of the
everything.
Big Bang.
The-
You would have to
the
experience the Big
disgusting of
Bang.
humans,
Yeah.
of what they did and what they could do, and you have the memory of small bits of history that you know now. Like
yeah.
you would have to go through the time of
literally
slavery.
everything.
You would have to go through the time of
Oh yeah, fuck you,
just random murder.
Fuck none of
Yeah.
us are black.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, because you'd be the ultimate slave.
I mean, yeah. What if you get captured by Area 51 and get experimented on because you're immortal? You would have
I wouldn't allow that to happen
to
because
be
I know
constantly on the run.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'll be immortal,
well-
so all I have to do is put tactics on my side, and the Americans will never catch me.
or legitimately take over Illuminati, and then
You could
have
take
them
care
for
of
it.
World War One, finish it before it even started.
Yeah,
But
Mm,
but
Or
as I
World
did
War
say,
Two.
anything you do
would
wouldn't
return.
have an effect.
So
yeah.
if you were to kill Hitler as a baby, somebody else would take over for Hitler.
Yeah, and it would still be Hitler. You could kill
Mm.
every single version of Hitler. It wouldn't matter. I don't know why I've stolen this car. I'm getting
You
fucking...
could, yeah. Even if you find a cure for the plague, Black Plague, some other disease would take over.
But it'd still be called the Black Plague.
I mean,
Just
I
a
don't need to change
Mm.
history. As long as we get enough of it, you see enough of it, you can come back to this time and, be rich with just purely
Like,
by information standards.
But this is multiverse theory. You're still immortal after this time.
Yeah,
After you reach the point we are now, you're still immortal. You'll still have to be an observer. Anything you do in the world would mean nothing. You could tell everyone everything, and it would eventually be forgotten, and everything you've told them would be for naught.
well, I don't care about them.
Obviously, you would,
I just want-
forget about that.
I mean, I can see it at Roswell when the supposed fucking balloon crashes, the air balloon.
You
or
would
what
do
it is.
it just to sit. You would go through all that shit just to sit in a tank and fire it, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, that's my second point. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop World War One because World War Two is where tanks truly fucking evolved. So there's plenty enough tanks for me to toy with.
You'd support the war.
Mm. I mean, fuck it. But if it hit this friend, I'll get a few Tiger Ones out of it. I don't care.
You get to earn some Tiger Ones. You're immortal and have to go through trillions of years of agonizing pain and probably mind-blowing torture. But you get some Tiger Ones. Yay!
Yeah, well, any tank I fucking want, really.
I
I
suppose.
can-
It's
yeah.
like, I want that one.
I mean, there's so many things in this planet, in this world, that we don't know what happened to. For all I know, I have gone back and just nicked them.
Pyramids. You would have to figure out with no map. Keep in mind that you'll probably be you'll go in naked in space. So you won't have a map. You won't have GPS. You won't have any technology. You won't have the phone you have on you. And even then, the phone wouldn't work because one, it would run out of battery by the time the fucking universe were to fucking explode. You would get destroyed in the explosion. So would your clothes. You would have to start as a caveman, but with the body of current us.
You would be the ultimate human being because you would learn about everything,
You would be
Literally.
immortal.
Yeah.
However,
Immortal.
you,
and you would learn everything.
I suppose
You would be smarter than computers.
the
nowadays.
problem is you would not be able to train. You wouldn't be able to get stronger because if you're immortal and it does no permanent damage or anything like that, you would not be able to damage your muscles to make them regrow stronger. You will be as strong as you are now, and as agile as you are now. The only thing that you improve upon is probably getting used to the pain of your tongue boiling. You would literally, nothing would change.
I assume
You wouldn't be able to fight. You wouldn't be able to fight. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to fight a fucking mammoth to get food. I wouldn't be able to climb up a hill. like you would literally just have to get beaten over and over and over again,
Mhm.
killed. Well, physically,
You wouldn't get
like
killed.
eaten. You would have to be eaten and shat out multiple times before before we reach to a place where you don't have to worry about that anymore.
That's only if you make mistakes. I mean, I know how to build a trebuchet, and that's
I
mainly
mean, you don't have to eat, so if you just bury yourself for a while,
yeah.
Well, and go for another thousands and thousands of years.
yeah,
And they went through trillions
suffocating
of
on
years,
dirt.
and
I mean, mammoths aren't the big issue. I mean, you got to pass the dinosaurs first, and they're more intelligent than any fucking giant, uh, bloody furry elephant. So
Yes. Ah, yes, the fucking furry elephant,
yeah,
mammoth.
but you would meet the most greatest minds of every single generation.
yeah.
You'd meet Einstein.
Mm.
Everything.
But you would need to keep in mind that you only know what you know now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you're going back in time.
How
Do you
thick
know
do you
where
think I am?
Shakespeare?
I
Do you
know
know
enough
where
knowledge.
Do you know where Shakespeare lives?
In
Do you
London.
know how to
London.
in London? Okay.
You would know where he would live
He-
Like,
because
Do
He
you
literally-
know where the greatest minds live? How to get there? I mean, you can walk, I suppose, thousands of years and all that. But like, you need to figure out geography.
Yeah.
You would have to be a genius now, just to be able to do all those things in the past, from the beginning. You would need to understand everything, like where they were, how to get there, how to read the stars, because you don't have a fucking map.
Not necessarily.
Like, you need to not necessarily.
no,
Okay,
because you
explain.
still have there's still other people on the planet. Let's say I wanted to get to America before it became America. There are other people with boats that I can just hire up and just ship
you
there.
start the revolution that makes America just
Yeah.
America.
I mean, honestly,
Like, it just turns out you're the fucker who's been started all these wars.
yeah. I mean, it's the fact that not that if you kill Hitler, somebody else will take their place. It's the fact that your actions to try and
You kill Hitler, now you have to do what Hitler did.
No, the fact that you try and kill Hitler would be the actions that cause Hitler to probably start a war. It could be.
Yeah.
The thing is, the whole butterfly effect isn't that it something will always take its place. It's something that even if you interact with it, you could be the cause that it happened in the first place. And if you don't interact with it, it's probably because
the
you
most
didn't.
hated person in human history, like worse than Hitler type of person.
Yeah, but people won't know because let's say I actually did this, right?
Uh huh.
You don't know if I've talked to Hitler. Nobody does. But I could have been
And
responsible.
Hitler will eventually forget about you too.
And I could be responsible for actually triggering Hitler to start a war, but nobody would know that, so I wouldn't be the most hated person anyway. And I could have done that by actually trying to stop the war from starting.
But could you live with yourself knowing you are the direct reason that Hitler killed millions of Jews?
That'd be the reason the war started, but yeah, that's fine. I mean, thanks.
Well, because after a
You
while,
heard it here first, folks. Owen's okay with being the reason Jews died.
No, just the war started.
Hang
Jews
on.
dying had nothing to do with the war. It's just because Hitler had enough power to get them, to
Mm.
put them in place.
Yes, Michael? Michael's trying to figure something out.
after a while, you wouldn't care. Like, you wouldn't have feelings. You wouldn't have basically anything because
No, you still have
a
feelings.
trillion years
You wouldn't
of
be able
being
to
by
grow
yourself,
connections.
you wouldn't want to have connections, other than like
you
William
love them and then
Shakespeare.
they die.
Exactly.
But then you would have to know people to get like to William Shakespeare.
Not
You would have
necessarily.
to know people.
He was
but
fucking
you wouldn't
popular.
have to like them.
He was actually at most of his plays, wasn't he? So you just have to go to his massive
Yeah.
play building thing, which I forgot the name of.
And
Obviously, I
just-
won't need to know because I'll just. It'll be
Don't
over
know
the
the
news
name
then.
of. How
It'd be-
dare you?
It'll be the fucking talk of the
Dare
town.
you not to know?
I know it has
Yeah.
moved across London because of what's the thing called?
I
Rent.
don't know.
Because of rent, he moved it somewhere cheaper. Literally, he picked up. He had the whole entire building moved to the other side of London just so you don't have to pay too much money for it.
You just got like 100 people to just pick up the building and walk along London.
Well, to be honest, the buildings probably weren't that heavy back then, so they probably could do that. But no,
Yeah.
he built it on the other side of London, so
Just pick up one wool, the other wool, and off you go. Well, that was a good talk.
So yeah, I definitely would do that. I mean,
You'd do that.
Well,
I would probably go insane. Because keep in mind that your body may not take damage, permanent damage, but your mind would. All that
yeah,
trauma, all that PTSD.
no, I'm not a pussy. I can deal with it.
You would probably. You're not a pussy. Okay. I mean, it's one of those. Yeah, I could do it. I could do it, and then you start it, and it's like I can't do it.
once you've chosen that decision, it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened. You can't
I'm more
change
happy
it.
to do it. I can write all the fucking things that people are going, oh, dinosaurs had feathers. No, don't be ridiculous. And
No, it
could
never
be at-
happened.
like I said, I can be at Roswell to
Fake
see what actually
news.
crashed. See if it was a weather balloon or something out of this world.
Say that again.
I can be at Roswell to see the crash
Oh.
and to see what actually it was, if not for my own benefit, so I can actually know what the fuck they're talking
You
about.
see what happened with Stonehenge.
Mm.
But like, would you be interested in it?
We all know what
anymore
happened to
after a while?
Stonehenge.
Yeah,
It was Doctor Who.
I can write it down. Whether or not anybody reads it, not my problem. I know the facts, and so that's all I need to know. It's not an issue. So yeah,
it
I'd
would
do
be worth it.
I mean, you would probably see the people who we conspiracy thought, oh, people were here before us. There was a civilization before us.
Hmm.
You meet those people. I suppose.
You would be standing at civilization saying, I made this, I destroyed it, I made this, and I destroyed it.
Yeah, but nobody would believe you. Would they?
No,
There's
but-
not those crazy people in New York are those people. The end is near!
The end is near and I caused it. Fuck. I mean, I guess, like, all this would work out. You'd still have to, like, mentally get over the trillions of years.
yeah.
Like, how long would you be able to think? How long do you think you'd be able to recover? Because, like, okay, let's go base to this. It's a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
You can't hear shit. You'd only be able to hear your heartbeat and all that.
And
People,
you'll think.
there is a room, the quietest room in the world,
Mm.
and you'd be able to hear your heartbeat, your blood flow. People would start hallucinating while being in there, and they would eventually go crazy.
Mm.
You'd be doing that tenfold
Mm.
while being in brain-destroying pain.
But you wouldn't die.
I don't appreciate how much you're underestimating me.
He will do anything for a tank.
That is just not an issue. If I had to sit through 2020 and 2021, I would be more than happy to be in a fucking vacuum and live through it.
Pain is pain.
We were put in a quarantine 3 months after a fucking pandemic. If that doesn't drive you insane, I don't think a quiet room would. Obviously, that's
I mean,
a
at
joke.
least you have things to do in the thing.
That doesn't bother me. The thing that bothers me when I'm not doing things is when people come up to me and ask me if I'm alright because I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I'm fine. Nobody's bothering me. Leave me alone.
It's pure bliss.
Exactly.
Fuck off.
So, oh, you're right. You're on your own. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm fucking happy.
I was kind of hoping that this is something like the viewers could join in my stream, but nah, they didn't. They just sat there and either left or just watched.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Their minds are too small to understand us.
Ah, yes, Michael watches Rick and Morty. You see,
Does he? Doesn't act like it.
He's just too smart for us.
So he has to do with Leicester. Son of a bitch.
And Michael's talking about a game. My fucking god. Time. How long did that take?
This is the
about
first time I've said
25 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 to 30 minutes.
God damn it, Michael.
Okay, well, here's another topic: the YouTube removing dislikes.
Oh yeah, that bullshit.
I mean, they it raised more. The video that I watched, which I probably will put the link in the description as well. Um, it raised more questions than it answered.
You mean you mean the video that said we're gonna remove the dislike button, or
Yeah,
the
of that guy who clearly works for YouTube but was talking like he's on our side.
Hmm.
That kind of bullshit.
I mean, oh hi, I don't know. You just missed the deepest conversation any human being has ever had. Like this beats Elon Musk while high levels of deep thought, and you joined literally just after it ended.
Don't worry, you can watch it on the YouTube channel.
I
When we
suppose you
upload.
could watch it on the YouTube channel. Well, actually, I feel like our name on YouTube is way too long for it to like catch on.
The Off Task Cast.
The Off Task Cast. Yeah.
That's fine.
Go watch us on YouTube on the Off Task Cast. We have plenty of videos of like free.
Yeah. Two.
Yeah, how you doing? I don't know. You having a good day today?
Third. I know you've been friendly and all, but this is a podcast, not a normal stream.
Oh, he's been here for a bit, so he has heard everything we've said.
Okay.
He just hasn't said anything. So I was correct. People are just watching and not talking about it.
That's fine. This doesn't have to be a fucking viewer interactive thing. Too much, at least.
It would be nice it to be.
They can few bits. I mean, some podcasts do that. We have a little bit. But it doesn't have to be.
What the fuck? I'm hearing your video, whoever's playing that.
Michael, are you playing a video?
He's legit playing a video. Well, Michael, you're recording that.
Michael? No, hang on. You've got to stop it. Seriously, we're in a podcast.
I'm aware. It won't
You're
take
a
me that long.
liability, Michael. I think it's his autism. I think that's why he's like this.
Oh, are you watching the video that we spoke about?
No.
What the fuck then? You're not even watching the thing that can help.
So you're not even watching the video that Owen said, oh, they're taking away the dislike counter.
I was just hoping he's sort of getting that to be caught up to date on what we're talking about. But no, he's not even doing
Yeah,
that.
that would have been nice. But yeah, no, he's not. Fucking dick.
Anyway,
Based on pharmaceutical.
the what was it they said it was? It was like dislike hoarding or herding, whatever it was. Which I have no idea what that is.
Oh.
They didn't explain what that was.
Yeah.
Is it like telling
Well,
your friends to
there's one-
dislike it and they dislike it without thought? Because that's
I mean,
more of an issue of the society really than the actual dislike button. Them hiding it won't stop them from going, hey, dislike this, because they know their friends dislike it anyway, whether they see numbers or not.
well,
So-
the thing is what they say is to stop like people from, let's just say, having a mental breakdown, But like the problem is like they still see the dislikes. They still
Yeah.
see that people dislike it in private. So why are you taking away the ability to see it in public?
People
It
didn't.
clearly isn't that. It clearly isn't what you are saying. You are lying to our faces.
Yeah, I mean, having the big number of dislikes isn't what encourages people to dislike it. It's the fact that it's bad. And if they get other friends to dislike it, are more likely
Excuse me.
to either watch it and go, yeah, I don't like this, I'm going to dislike it, as they normally would, or they just, arrogant people who dislike it anyway, which, I have not seen. I've watched a few YouTubers, and none of them have complained about them being unfairly disliked.
Mm.
They've been unfairly attacked by YouTube in multiple ways.
Oh yeah, YouTube has been fucking them. It's
Yeah.
not the viewers who've been fucking them with dislikes.
No, and more importantly, I watched this channel called MXR Plays, and a while ago they mentioned how their people's likes was being removed because they were being assumed as bots. So they got less likes on their videos because YouTube assumed most of their viewers were bots and it removed their likes. Did I say dislikes before? Because I meant likes. So it's,
Yeah.
I mean, how are they supposed to, say it's encouraging people when even when the likes were being removed? And it's like,
Well,
why though?
it's all scummy tactics. It's all
Yeah.
bullshit. There's always a knife behind the back. You know, there's like they go, oh, it's all this, but really, it's like this really scummy thing they're trying to push onto people.
I
Like,
reckon. Okay. No, no, oh, sorry.
mhm.
I thought you finished. Continue.
Well, what's happened lately is YouTube is a big tech media kind of thing.
Mm.
You know, like Twitter and shit like that, Facebook, and they've all joined in, and basically, how do I say this without sounding extremely political? Um, Basically, there've been a massive amounts of dislikes to likes ratios
Mm.
on videos of a certain president, and
Trump.
and no, Biden.
Okay.
And basically, a bunch of people dislike it. Everyone who watches it will just put dislike in it, and essentially, people would bitch about it. Like, you know, the news and all that would bitch about, like, oh, Biden's getting unfairly disliked, even though, like,
It's because he's white.
Michael.
no, it's because
I'm
Trump
aware.
supporters dislike him. Trump supporters and Republicans and anyone on the right and dislike him. The thing is nobody who supports Biden actually watches him. So it's a case of the only people disliking him or doing anything, you know, with the like and dislikes are Republicans and Trump supporters.
Mm.
So it results in this massive, like, dislike to like ratio. People who don't like Biden and some people who voted for him are saying, like, no, Biden's doing a terrible job, and dislike videos like that. So even people who have legitly gone, all right, I'm going to dislike you because you fucked us, essentially. You've portrayed us, and you've done what you haven't done what you said you would do. And let's just say Democrats have a lot more power over big tech than they like to let on,
Mm.
and they basically because there are a lot of examples where shit has happened and they have immediately been cut off because like people would post big stories on places like Twitter and like YouTube and Facebook, and they would get banned or at very least like the post would be deleted.
Mm.
And like there have been plenty of times, and it's always when it's against Democrats. Whenever it's against Republicans, even when it's being debunked or anything, they will always push it.
Mm.
So at this point, because Biden has been disliked so many times, even by his own team, to the point where he's at 33% approval, 33% approval. Um, Trump, I think his worst was about in the 40s. I think.
Wow. Wow.
His absolute worst, and that was at the beginning of his presidency. It went up from there. Yeah, Biden somehow did worse than Trump. So it's gone to a point where where was I? You've interrupted me. Yeah, it's gone to the point where it's like, hey, all these dislikes are basically annoying us. Can you like get rid of him? Because not gonna say that because he hasn't really gone full that way. And like they're going like, hey, can you get rid of this dislike? It's getting really annoying. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. We'll get rid of it. And they've gotten rid of it. They're getting rid of it. Eventually. I don't know when the date is. When is it? When they're getting rid of the dislike number thing?
I can't remember. I couldn't find it when they said exactly.
Okay, but yeah, basically all this shit has gone down. Biden has gone down the sink, and they're basically getting annoyed that everyone's disliking it. Yada yada yada. Facebook, can you like do something to control the information and all that, and like, oh, like get rid of the people who just mass disliking us, while people just aren't supporting us and liking us. And like, yeah, we'll just get rid of the thing, so it looks like not a lot of people are disliking him, and the only people who are liking him are there. As in, like, the best way, like they're doing it in China. Basically, they are making it so you feel alone.
Okay, can
You
we?
feel like you're the only person who has gone, what the fuck is this? Well, everyone else is not talking about it. so I won't bring up anything. It's a sheep tactic. It's like they're the shepherds and we're the sheep. If one person is only the problem, then nothing will happen. But if everyone's going, oh, this is a problem, something will happen. But they're trying to prevent that.
Mm.
So that's why they're getting rid of the dislike thing.
Yeah.
It's not that mental thing. Like, holy crap, what
Well,
kind of lazy excuse was that?
it really does bring me to, like, I haven't checked because I haven't really bothered to look too far. But if you look into how Stalin manipulated many people into following communism and his tactics to get what he wants and to make sure he's head of everything, you might find some similarities to what YouTube's been doing. I'm not saying that it
Really?
is. I just know when I watched a few things about history and there was a few things that Stalin did, I went, wait a minute, that sounds a lot familiar to what YouTube's done. I won't say anything more, but I reckon if you look at what Stalin did, you might connect a few dots to what YouTube's been doing. And
Yeah.
it goes with what I
mean,
said before.
Not
With,
doing it with. Yeah. Go on.
with before with the head of YouTube is basically a closet dictator. Can't accept criticism, and will just fight in any shape or form to get rid of it.
Yeah. Basically, don't believe everything YouTube is saying. It's always gonna have. They always have a knife behind their backs, ready for you to just go. Oh yeah, I believe you. Turn around and they just fuck you. They don't stab you. They just fuck you.
As if they're willing to wait for you to turn around. Sometimes YouTube clearly just stabs people in the face.
Mm.
It's like, oh no,
Good
I didn't do
old
it.
spy tactic. Face stabs.
No, that wasn't
Sorry.
me. I didn't do
TF2.
anything. Oh no. It's yeah. It wasn't me. I didn't
Wait,
do
Ash
anything.
says you talk.
Well,
Was
gash
that
my
you
face.
talk about a game again?
No, it's talking about
No,
his
it's
game.
just a thing.
It's a reference.
It's about a game. It's a reference. It's a meme.
Yeah. He didn't say, oh,
You would know
Leicester.
that. You would know that if you played TF2.
The thing, but yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, I watched Abandoned Engineering, and it came across this part with an abandoned holiday resort built by the Nazis. It's a tactic of basically you give your workers a luxury area that's not only funded by you, the people. Obviously, that's a good.
Yeah, taxes.
Already gives you a good name. But let's say if I was the head of Nazis, right, and I just said, okay, well, I said to people, I built this massive resort for my workers. That alone would give me a good rep. But then they also did things with like,
Cutting off information, right?
no, storing information about themselves. It
Destroying
was
information.
no storing. It's basically
storing.
they
sorry.
had big, massive areas where people could talk and go and start discussing your ideas and start going, oh, you know, actually, I can see the point of that, and putting the numbers together, because humanity basically works in numbers, mostly. If a huge number of people are saying, actually, I can kind of see this, people start seeing less of the bad into it, because they sort of see more people doing it. It's like, oh, well, most of this nation can't be bad, so if there's good people here and they think it's good, a good idea, it might not actually be as evil as I thought.
Yeah, like the sheep tactic I talked about earlier.
But in the opposite,
It's like
itself,
if you see multiple people doing the same thing, you're most likely gonna do that thing as well.
yeah, but in sort of opposite what we're talking about, instead of removing the numbers of dislikes, they sort of put them all together in one room, and under the idealism of the people you're supposed to not like have just given you all this stuff, they will go towards it. And that's kind of what they did there when they tried and said, oh no, this is for you, we've removed it so people get less negative response from numbers. It's like you expect people to sort of get together and sort of, you know, go, oh, actually, that's not a bad idea. And if enough people say that, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah. Everyone's pissed off about it, so it's not really working, is it?
No.
Like, people are already thinking of ways to, like, alright, how do we show our unhappiness to these people? Oh, I know, we'll just write dislike in the comments, or,
yeah.
But that's, like, more effort, so it probably won't latch on. Like, stuff like that. Like, okay, we're gonna put -1 in. Why would you report something you just dislike? That's unnecessary.
Because you could just write some bullshit like, oh,
Um,
that you can't say that, me, type of stuff.
Yeah, we're not gonna go as low as those people.
yeah, it's just desperation, and that's just bad at that point.
Bullshit. Yeah.
But yeah, well, the thing is, the reason why it doesn't work because the difference between them and Hitler is that Hitler was actually an intelligent person. Not to compliment him, but the reason why he was so successful at being,
Hitler sympathizer.
but the reason why
Sorry,
Hitler
go
was
on.
so successful at being an evil bastard is because he had the intelligence to get round people. He can,
Mm.
you know, he was a really good speaker, a talker, whatever the fuck they're called, and he can convince people with his speeches. He was just on the wrong side of intelligence and used it for evil, really.
He was evil.
Yeah. So
He was on the wrong side of good, which tends to be evil.
yeah,
Sometimes it tends to be evil.
I
There's a
mean,
grey area at some point.
and that's the thing. Fortunately for us, YouTube isn't intelligent. They can't get away with most of this shit.
Mm.
Fortunately, they've only got money on their side, and that's dwindling. And
I hope so, but like I didn't hear about this.
well, it's been
YouTube's
dwindling.
running out of money.
Well, it's not running out of money, but it's never been good with money. Ever since it's been in Google's hand, they've lost money quite a bit. I don't know if they're gaining again, because they seem to go from up and down with their fucking money. They're in constant panic of losing it, really.
Just like if you're ever planning on investing, don't invest in Google.
No. Well, I think Google. The thing with what Google did is because they just bought YouTube and they had no clue what to do with it. They saw a massive amount of money in it, so they just took it with no idea of how to run it, and that's evident because it's been losing money multiple occasions. And
If
I'm
you
surprised they haven't sold it.
I don't think I would ever sell. If I were to make something like fucking YouTube, no matter how much money you give it to me, I would not fucking sell that shit.
If it's such a massive hassle, like what's his face? Like
if I'm
hassle
getting
to
as much
deal
money
with.
as if I get as much money as I do with YouTube, then I would just hire people to help out.
Well,
But then
YouTube,
there's
was it-
lawsuits. There's all small little.
Why
things
would
that
I?
people
Why would
do.
I do any? Why would I do something illegal, Michael?
As in, you would get lawsuits for, like,
For what?
oh, there was a video of some guy killing himself for more than 12 hours on your platform. That's bad. You're getting a £1 million lawsuit. Have fun with that.
Michael,
Small stuff like that.
Michael,
Yes.
they don't get it. It's a public thing. You don't like. Okay, so basically, you know how YouTubers make videos and they have a comment section,
Yeah.
and people could say some pretty horrible stuff in the comment section. The
Yeah.
YouTuber would not get in trouble for the things that their followers have said. The same goes for YouTube creators and holders. They would not get in trouble for what YouTubers have done. However, they would get in trouble if what the YouTubers have done has gotten the advertisers' attention. If they get their attention, the advertisers will go, "Oh, I don't want to advertise my product along with these people." So YouTube would have to change their terms of service and all that, resulting in what we all know, the adpocalypse. That's what we call it. It's happened multiple times. But yeah, the creators of YouTube would not get in trouble for what what the YouTuber has done. They would just get a few non-advertisers. They would not get in trouble with lawsuits. They just won't get much. They won't get more money.
get in trouble if they chose to ignore it and either ignore it or support it. Yeah.
Yeah, they would get in trouble definitely. Oh yeah, I just support the freaking kids killing themselves. Oh yeah.
Because that was also almost the issue with was it Logan or Jake? I can't remember which one is the bigger dipshit, but the one that went to the
I think it's
suicide
Logan, the guy who
it was
don't
almost
know,
an issue
though.
because YouTube almost allowed that to either stay up or stay monetized or something ridiculous like that. And YouTube
Oh, is it
almost got thrown
because
in
of the
bus.
Suicide Forest guy?
Yeah.
I think that was
the thing
Jake.
we are literally talking about,
The
Michael.
thing that I started off with the idiot who went to the suicide forest, yeah, it would be about that guy.
That guy.
Yeah, whichever of the Dumples family
The
fucking did
Dumples.
it. Yeah,
That name, though.
whichever dipshit Paul of the Paul family went to that suicide forest. Almost got YouTube in trouble because I say he got YouTube in trouble. YouTube almost got themselves in trouble by almost ignoring it.
Left in it, yeah.
I think it was an issue then, but yeah. But this is all why it was still in Google's hands. To think, because YouTube was originally just going to be a dating website. So I think when they sold it, they probably were more glad because
That took a fucking turn, didn't it?
yeah, because it probably got more than they expected. So they thought, oh fuck, we have no idea how to even handle this. Because even if they have the money, you still need the intelligence to go with it, which is evident because look at the fuck.
Obviously, Google doesn't have that.
Well, Google seems to be fine. I think whoever they didn't realise who they put in charge of YouTube. In reality, if Google actually
Wait,
wants to make
isn't it that woman everyone hates?
I'm pretty sure it's still her. I mean,
Still her? She hasn't been fired yet? You would think from all the shit she's done, she should be fucking arrested, but yeah.
well, I was about to bring that up. That the only thing that Google isn't doing is looking into what the fuck she is doing and see if she's still qualified for the job or should be allowed in the job. Because clearly,
What job? What's the person you talk about?
the person in charge of YouTube.
Ah.
Somebody's getting distracted by the game.
It's nice to have you in the podcast every now and again, Michael.
Yeah, it's like a special guest, except
Yeah.
from the boy, it's proper special.
A really special guest.
Mm.
But
We're allowed to say that. I'm autistic and so does Michael, and he is allowing me to say that.
I
Like,
Like Michael
consent
has
to
control
calling me a
over what I
retard.
say, but whatever.
um,
I consent to somebody calling me a retard. Yay! Friendship.
where was
I don't know. It's nice that Michael would
Oh, yeah.
get into the
I?
podcast stuff now every now and again.
The looking into her job and what she's doing and see if she's qualified. Because, to be perfectly honest, under any other rule, Google might actually make some fucking money from YouTube, if not more money than if they're already making money. If they can actually,
mean,
you know,
if they-
just-
If they
somebody
actually
to do it.
cared about the YouTubers they claim to care about, they would actually make money.
Hmm.
But they don't. So they won't.
I mean, at this point, I'm not even
Just
sure
the
if she does or
character
doesn't
of
care.
somebody being selfish.
She might be completely delusional. I mean, she might care, but she might just, you know,
Act like it.
she might just be a bit crazy. You know.
She crazy. She a crazy bitch.
I'm not saying she hasn't got a heart. I'm just saying she hasn't got a brain.
Ah.
Clearly, she isn't thinking about anything she's going for. She's just either panicking too fucking hard, and this is really fucking hard to be honest. I mean, I'm surprised she hasn't had a panic attack, but
She having a panic attack like every 5
clearly not doing
seconds.
it right. And I'm surprised, you know, Google hasn't looked into it. Because I swear, if Google bought YouTube for what it was, and then it chose to ignore it, it's like, oh yeah, you're in charge of this. Goodbye. Speak to you about 10 years later. I'm pretty sure they'd be slightly concerned if the thing they just put money into is losing money.
Quick question.
What?
Yes.
I was just seen in a show I was watching, Gotham. You know, Batman,
Mm.
Bruce
Mhm.
Wayne. He bought
Yeah.
most of he bought most of the stocks in Thingy Enterprises. I forgot the company
Bruce?
name. Bruce Enterprises, even though he owned
Oh wait,
it.
no,
but he
Wayne.
bought
Wayne, sorry, Wayne Enterprises.
Wayne Enterprises, but he bought most of the stock in Wayne Enterprises.
Mm.
So that means he owned it.
Yes.
You would have to own like more than 50% of the stock to own the fucking
The
thing.
Oh, so
I mean, that's the only thing I've learned from a fucking video game, so I might be completely wrong.
say if some miracle bought like 70% of Amazon,
Yeah.
I would own Amazon.
You'd own 70% of Amazon.
But I wouldn't own Amazon.
No.
but I had
You
most
would
of my
have-
stock
you would-
in Amazon.
Would
Yes.
you have any say in what Amazon did, though?
They'll take it into consideration because you have 70% of it. Hold on, just-
Everyone's googling it right now.
No, I was trying to think because I completely lost myself. You're down 70%, and yeah. I mean, I think in that case, it's because you have 70%. You would, yeah, you basically would be able to make decisions, but you won't be able to force decisions. It'll probably go up to a vote or decision of the other
And
stockholders.
you would,
So I'd basically be a politician in my company. It's basically
Kind
a politician.
Yeah, in a
I
sense, yeah.
suppose so, yeah.
Why
That's
do you
cool.
bring it up?
So Jeff Bezos, because
Bezos.
he bought Jeff, just because he
Jeff.
bought, just because he owns most of the stocks of Amazon, he owns Amazon, even though he owns it anyway.
Pretty
So he could
much.
have 0 stocks in Amazon, but he would still own it.
I
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the other stockholders can vote him out at that point, which would be
Like what happened in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, and they, it could, and people usually don't agree. But if it's something like if he just basically did something that lost them a lot of money, then they can intentionally sort of vote him out, and it'd be good for the company. But if they go, well, we can make more money if we get him out and vote him out, it could do him more harm because he could be the brains behind the
Lawsuits.
operation. So yes, if you have 0%, you could technically still own it and be in charge because you
just
know
have to
how the
put a lot
company
of trust
works.
in people who has the fucking
Yeah,
You just have to put a lot of trust into people. That's all.
but I'm no expert, so don't quote me on that. I'm no expert, so I won't quote me. But pretty much.
I
yeah.
mean, I don't trust many things, but I trust in the stupidity of people.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's a constant.
I would definitely not trust anybody in control of my stock. If they would be over 50% of my stock, I would be extremely worried.
Yeah,
Considering I could I just own my own stock. Like, wouldn't the stock be free to me? Like, boom, free stock, boom.
That's
yeah,
what,
but you need investors, and that's sort of how
Wayne
it's
did
gonna
in
do it.
for Wayne Enterprises. It went live for like less than a week ago, and he bought most stocks in it. So then he kicked out one of the lead bosses, which was a complete and utter dick. Just he was a complete and utter dick. So they kicked him out and made someone else the basic leader of it.
Yeah, because he is Bruce Wayne, and his family's name is in it. So he took control of it.
He owned the company anyway, because Bruce Wayne was his mum and dad's company, or his dad's company.
Yeah,
So he inherited it when he
Inherited,
turned of age,
as much as I know, yeah.
or
but-
he owned it even before he turned of age.
Yeah, I was assuming because he wasn't. I don't think he was that age when his parents died. But yeah, as much as I know, yeah. But why is this brought up?
Yeah, why have we gone to Batman?
Because I was asking about stock and how
Yeah.
it would work.
But why are we talking about stock now?
I mean, go with it. It's something to talk about
Yeah, I
on the
mean,
podcast.
it's a topic, but why is it suddenly a
It
topic
is.
that's been shoved in? I'm not entirely sure if we entered the last topic, but I only went for
Well-
this because I thought it was going to add something to the previous topic.
But it
But-
did.
How?
I know what
Yeah.
how stocks properly work.
Yeah, but what does it do with YouTube?
What's that going to help us with as
Because
YouTube has
we were
no
talking about
stocks.
kicking people out of YouTube.
Oh yeah, but that isn't how it is. Google owns YouTube. Let's say you own a store and it does successful really well, so you buy another store. You need somebody to run that store because you can't be in two places at once.
Mm-hmm.
Google has
Like
bought
what?
the YouTube store and has hired somebody to run that store. They still own that store, but because they are busy on their own store, they haven't even bothered to check to see if the head of that YouTube store is even doing the right thing. If Google went across the city, drove down and found the YouTube store and discovered half it was burnt down, and the money is just all over the place, then they'll probably do something about the manager.
They would probably sue the manager.
Yeah, remove the manager and shit. I'm surprised that whoever's in YouTube, head of YouTube is still ahead of YouTube, considering how much they've lost previously, and maybe still
But
be
if it's
lost.
a woman, we know for a fact a woman can't run a company.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
one.
Fuck's sake.
Michael.
For all intents
I'm
and
clearly
purposes,
joking.
He is joking.
But
yeah,
in a way-
but like you can't
but
clearly
it-
joke.
But in a
Yeah,
way,
fuck,
it's
YouTube
it's
video, Michael.
slightly true.
No, it's
No.
not.
Name one company, one really successful company that is run by a woman.
I can't remember.
Like when I
any.
mean by successful, I mean like Amazon, Tesla, Ford.
Successful. That isn't just successful. That's over.
Pegasus? No.
That's just like.
So on and so forth.
Mm.
Or a company that was run by a man that is now run by a woman that has done more successful than the man did.
Well, it depends. How much? What does Oprah do? What she owns? Does she own businesses?
If you've got a successful business, you're not exactly gonna change many things. So
Not unless you
yeah.
YouTube. Then you just change
Oh,
anything
yeah,
despite
but
it's
then you
working. or
fuck
not.
up.
The only reason why I said that is because it's women have more sympathy for other people than men do. Like if a man needs
Yeah.
to fire someone from a job, they are more likely to do it than a woman would.
Yeah. But
That's
we're
just a straight fact.
We're not seeing any sympathy from who is in charge of YouTube, because they clearly are more than happy to shoot a wounded man in the back. With what, if evident by what they do in YouTube, with the amount of YouTubers who follow their pointless restrictions just to get monetized, and still don't get monetized because YouTube can't even be asked to even check on the small people every now and again. I know they can't check everybody, but it's like
Yeah,
they
like-
don't even look.
Yeah, the small YouTubers have to bend over backwards to fit in what they want, but then even then they still get fucking stabbed in the back.
Hmm.
Like that, it has to be malicious.
I mean, in the best case scenario, who is in charge of YouTube is just bitten off more than they can chew, and they are just generally a nice person. But
They just know what they're doing.
they have no clue what they're doing. YouTube's clearly been bigger than they thought it would be, and are paying the consequences for.
And they fucked up.
Because that's the problem with the bad reputation of women not being able to run things, is that just for the sake of being female and you need to set example, they will just jump into the biggest, or they'll try and get set into the biggest role, but realise they don't know what they're doing. I mean,
Yeah, they don't even know what they're doing.
I'm not exactly a rocket engineer, but if I wanted to, let's say if men were the minority and being pushed down, I wouldn't jump into NASA to show that men can do things, because I know jack shit about rockets.
Yeah, it's a whole merit over who you are kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're a woman, you'll do great at this job. Fucking no, not just because she's a woman.
I mean, that's how
Like, that's how you kill a company. Congratulations.
Doctor Who fucking ended up. They're
I
so
mean, yeah.
they're so intent on just making things more diverse. They didn't even think whether or not they can do something in the business.
Thing,
You already
Things
had
can
a
work
female
with women.
doctor, basically, didn't
Mhm.
they?
no?
You're talking about-
Basically.
You're talking about Clara, who was
yeah,
trying to
Clara.
be a doctor. Yeah, but I didn't like her. She was trying to be a doctor
like
despite
Clara.
already having a doctor. That she was too much trying to be like a doctor is what bothered me. It's like,
Mm,
nah.
I like I like Clara though.
You know, is it my personal
Anywho,
opinion?
enough of that.
But yeah, it was a case of, you know, they didn't really check whether or not they can write, whether or not they're just more diverse. And that's what bit me in the arse, because I'd rather somebody who can do the job than somebody who's just going to tick the fucking.
If it's
Merit.
like a completely natural character, like they are meant to be for this role because they have done so well,
Yeah.
then that's great. Let them. But like, if you're literally just letting a character in because they're like fucking a woman or black, like don't do that.
Well, it depends. I wonder if I had a problem with the
Let them in
actors.
if they're black and are good,
The
but
actors,
like don't do it.
the actors were an issue for me. I liked everybody who was actually in the actual actors and stuff. They were good. I liked the fact that she had more than one assistant and there was a sort of bunch of them. But I wasn't. It was the writing that really bit me in the arse. Mainly with that. What was that big one they did? uh, where the Doctor
I don't
finds
know.
out she's like the child or some shit. And that was like the
Oh,
worst.
that wasn't that the end of a wasn't that the end of one of the
Yeah,
thingies though?
I think so. I didn't
A
watch it
season. It was the end of a season.
because I've lost track of it all. But I heard about it, and it was like they completely neglected everything previously to the female Doctor. Um,
I
ugh,
never watched the female Doctor. I lost interest after having to wait so long for the new Doctor's season.
mm,
Like I kind of just realized like I could do other things.
yeah,
But like I don't know. Like I would have gone back into it eventually if it was like good. But like now I hear what everyone else is saying. I'm like maybe not so much now.
there was a few good episodes. The Rosa Parks episode, like I said before, is a fucking brilliant episode. They've done that like, perfectly. That was like one of the best things that came out from them. But other than that, they sort of
They fucked up.
yeah, especially with that big episode of completely neglecting everything that's previously happened to the Doctor. Technically, I mean, to say a plot hole would be an understatement. A plot crater was more descriptive of what they
A
fucking did.
plot black hole.
Yeah,
Sucking in all the plot and then leaving nothing behind.
an abyss of plot, really.
Yes.
It was just. It seemed almost spiteful to everybody who the writers beforehand is like, nah, fuck what you've done. We're gonna create
Yeah.
something else. Like, and it's gone tits up.
Nobody liked it. You gone dumb fuck yourself.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the issue with that. But to be honest, there was some good episodes and they did some shit right.
I mean, she was a good actor. It was
Oh, yeah.
just the writing.
Yeah, the actors were good. The crap ton of assistants she had, the whole army of assistants, they were alright.
I mean, I guess that kind of fits in with the whole thing they were trying to push, like in the Doctors before, that the Doctor just made soldiers for him, for himself, without knowing.
A
No.
change of subject
But
when it
that's
comes to Doctor Who.
Mm.
That the actor was fine, but the writing was just dreadful.
Yeah.
You know Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Yes.
The film or the game?
I ripped the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I really hated it.
I don't like her as a person. She seems not spiteful.
It's not.
Like,
It's not the actor or the writing or anything. It's she didn't deserve it.
I mean, yeah, they all all the actors built it up, like pretty
What
much
she did, like
for her.
if she was written ages ago, I'd have been fine with it.
I mean, she
it's
was a
just-
Marvel character from the very beginning.
Yeah, from the very beginning, but she wasn't brought in until after
The Mar-
Endgame. I'm pretty sure
until-
Mm.
Yeah, pretty much.
she was.
No, not after, but like
Oh, what
during
was it?
Endgame.
She one of the most powerful Marvel characters
Mm.
in Marvel, undeserved. The
I
backstory
actually
of
haven't
how
watched the
she
movie,
did
so
it,
I can't have an opinion on that.
it was just shit. She didn't deserve the last Stan Lee cameo.
Mm.
Wait,
completely
she got the
undeserved.
last Stanley.
She got the
cameo?
last Stan Lee cameo, I
No.
think.
Motherfucker!
Wait,
the
no.
last Stanley cameo should have been on that fucking Spider-Man anime, not anime, animation movie.
No,
You know, Miles
Venom.
Morales.
Venom was the last one. I'm pretty sure.
Oh. Okay. I mean, I thought it was an okay movie.
It's
I
pretty
think
good.
it should have been Endgame, where Stanley. Wait, have you guys seen it?
Yes, everyone
Oh,
has seen Endgame. Who has not seen
Okay. Some people may not have seen Endgame.
Endgame? Okay, go on.
Where Iron Man makes the his thing and everyone's in the background crying and all that because he's he should have been in the background crying as well. That should have been the last cameo
Eh. I mean, that would have been.
because they all would have deserved it. Captain Marvel was the last person that deserved the cameo. She didn't deserve
I don't think
any
it was
of
Captain Marvel. I'm pretty sure it was Venom.
I don't think it was Captain Marvel.
But no, I mean, I don't have an issue. I mean, the issue is put a massive plot hole on what the fuck was she doing during. Actually, to be honest, in my opinion,
Apparently,
if-
there were other planets that needed help.
yeah, and now they're cut in half. What's she gonna fucking do now, the dumb bitch? Like, oh great, you saved all of them. Well, now there's only half of them because some magic man with a fucking powerful glove just annihilate them from the other side
Magic
of the universe.
Man.
Well, he defeated Hulk
Very cool.
easily.
He just introduces himself as I am the Magic Man.
Yeah. It's his new alter ego. Second, he gets the glove.
Yeah. Like he doesn't even say I am inevitable. He just says I am the Magic Man.
And I am inevitable.
I
His
mean,
catchphrase.
comedic and threatening.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
I would have loved it if Thanos wasn't even Thanos. His name was literally just the Magic Man.
it would have been a better movie because, in my opinion, was it
I
Infinity
mean, it
War?
worked. It worked with Adventure Time.
Yeah. I mean, Infinity War and Endgame was pretty shitty in my opinion. It was literally just, oh no, he's too powerful. Well, no, not as that. It's that.
Oh yeah, Thanos was fucking like even without the Infinity Glove, he was just beating bitches left and right.
Yeah, and I'm a bit of a Hulk fan, and what they did with Hulk was pathetic. It's like, is he even
Oh,
Hulk
yeah.
or just a piece that you've just thrown in so people can appreciate
Like,
it?
did the Hulk by any
He's
chance
Hulk
like take
and-
did he take weed before this?
Yeah.
He got
Like
He-
who gave Hulk weed?
he got in touch with himself and he realized that both sides are good. Bruce Banner and
No,
Hulk.
we're talking about Infinity War where he was on the spaceship with Thor, where the ship got basically decimated and Thanos was seen getting the first stone. Well, on camera, he already got like 2
What
stones
stone
before
was
that.
it?
I don't remember what I think it was
There's-
a reality stone or the soul, not the soul stone.
Soul
The one
Stone.
the
yeah,
one
Tesseract.
that controls the mind.
No, he got
Tesseract.
Tesseract.
That stone. That stone.
the one
yeah.
that controls what?
The teleporting
Time.
stone. The
That's
teleporting
what it
stone.
Uh,
Oh, that's what it did.
Yeah, the blue Tesseract, it teleports, and that's how.
oh yeah, that was from Loki.
That's how Thanos got back and forth. 'Cause he used the teleportation thing.
Oh.
It just seemed. But it seemed like the Avengers had never met themselves or each other,
Hmm.
and they had no clue what they were doing the entire thing. It was
I
bad.
think the really like the only good part was when
The
they
end
came back
part.
to life and like they
Oh.
literally went Avengers assemble. But like
No,
that was-
That was
it
Captain
was
America
doing-
said that, you fucker.
Who did I say said it?
You didn't say anyone.
What?
Then does it matter?
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay then.
Captain America fan. doesn't
Captain
love
America said Avengers assemble.
Yeah, that bit.
You
was
know
weird.
what he was holding at said time when it happened.
Mjolnir,
He's
Mjolnir.
yes, he stood up in the air. He brought forth the hammer and he said, "Avengers assemble!" And oh, I got an erection so hard it could break through fucking Thanos' skull.
I was about to say like Mike. I could just imagine Michael standing on top of a podium with a rage and erection while saying this.
The budget Hitler.
You couldn't understand how unbelievably happy I was when that happened.
I mean, that was
When-
the only good thing that happened.
When
in
I
the two-
saw, I think it was Thor by himself getting. Oh, was it Thor? Or was it? No, he was Iron Man.
Yeah.
He was basically in Rex and couldn't take anymore. And then all he sees is portals. Like, when I mean portals, I mean hundreds
Yes,
and
yes,
hundreds.
watched
Yeah,
it.
you've seen it.
You know what you're
Hundreds
talking
of
about.
portals open up.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mm.
and then when you see Captain America hold the hammer, the fucking cinema went, "Oh my god!" or "No
Oh,
fucking
you,
way."
did you watch this in the cinema?
Yeah, I watched it in the cinema. I fucking cried. I
You
cried. I cried.
You did a bit.
I cried. I don't care. I cried. It was
mean-
worth it.
That would have been worth. That's the only good thing that happened in those two movies. So
You know
Oh,
why
oh,
I
yeah.
cried?
Having to watch 2 movies for 4 hours just to fucking watch that one scene, not worth it.
Hang
it would have
on.
been worth it. It would have been the
I
one
had
thing.
you had to wait a year.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, having to wait a year too, just
Yeah.
to hear Avengers assemble.
No. It wasn't just Avengers Assemble. It was I
No,
Love You
let's
3000
stop this whole
as well.
I mean,
I think the only time I ended up crying during both those movies was when Spider-Man died.
Ah, fuck
I
Spider-Man.
never cried because
Fuck
there's no point
Spider-Man.
crying.
It was
What?
when
What?
Iron Man.
Ah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was when Iron Man said,
It
"I love
was.
you
It was
3000."
when. No, like
The
it was
second time.
sad and like I don't know. Like I heard afterwards, but apparently they didn't actually mean to mean like for it to be Spider-Man could feel more because of his spider senses.
Mhm.
Apparently they didn't even mean for that to actually be part of the thing.
Well, because people overthought it, but yeah.
But like, but for some reason Tom Holland managed to make it so it felt like it looked like he could feel it. That's what choked me up.
Yeah.
Like he could feel the impending doom of his dusting, and that's what made it sad. And that's what made me tear up and cry a little bit.
That didn't make me tear up
Later,
whatsoever.
later found out that that's not what they meant it to be, and I felt a little bit silly.
I wasn't bothered by it. It just
Yeah,
because it seemed pointless. It's like
Spider-Man dies. I felt nothing.
I mean, the only reason that the Avengers lost is so they can make another movie. Really.
I mean,
They didn't lose. His Thor didn't go for the head. It's obvious.
or for the hand.
Yeah. I mean,
Even one would have been suspicious.
He went for the hand. He didn't go for the head.
no, he went for the chest. That's why he was in his chest.
Yeah.
It's quite evident what he went
Okay,
for.
Michael.
The axe was buried in it.
He also proceeded to push it further in.
Yeah.
It was quite obvious where he went.
It reads,
He wanted to hold Thanos in his hand as he bled out, but
yeah.
realized that people bleed out, but don't die immediately from bleeding out. From,
Especially not
you
when
know,
they're an
good bits
alien
of
titan.
bleeding out. Oh yeah, especially a guy who could fucking rip off things with his bare hand. You know, like rip apart fucking Tony Stark's suit that he's spent fucking years developing with his bare hands, like it's fucking nothing. Yeah.
The suit he was wearing was the suit he made up.
Nanite.
Yeah.
Nanite armor.
He
Yeah.
made all of them up.
Obviously, as in that was the one he made from his T-shirt.
Yeah. Then
Like he appeared it.
Not
That
even
was
his
the suit he
t-shirt.
was
It's
wearing, I'm
just a
pretty
little
sure.
module he puts on his chest.
Yeah.
And that was his most advanced and powerful suit he
Yes.
made in the movies.
Yes.
The thing is, if you can just move atoms
But that
about,
shit just got peeled off like a fucking bad sunburn.
yeah, but if you can move atoms about, why instead of throwing the meteorite on Thanos, why don't you just convert the meteorite into a massive Hulk-busting fucking suit?
Meteorite.
You remember when they fought on Thanos' planet and he threw like a
Oh,
massive
yeah.
moon or whatever it was at him? I mean,
No.
it really just seemed
I
like
don't
they
remember.
dumbed down or made everybody weaker.
No,
just
wait,
so...
hang on a minute. Tony didn't throw a moon at him.
They did.
Thanos threw a moon at him.
No, when they first,
Thanos threw it. Oh, when he threw a fucking massive ass boulder on the fucker.
yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
If you can just convert atoms into his suit, why didn't he just do that with the massive boulder he had?
But I thought it was nanites he possessed. He used nanites to move everything around.
Exactly. Why don't you put the nanites in the
Realised
meteorite
that.
and convert it into a massive suit?
I guess that's just not a thing that happens, I suppose.
Okay. Well, that could be
It's just a thing
excusable. It
that
didn't
can't
change
happen.
about how all Avengers seemed literally dumbed down and weaker than they need to be. Like it was like the other movies didn't happen, and it sort of just did that just so they can make another movie about it. And that really annoys me because when I watched Transformers, I watched Transformers: Robot in Disguise, the latest one. Every
We
episode,
pissing off any Marvel fans yet?
every episode was just literally the Autobots learning something and then forgetting about it. The next episode, they're making the same mistake over and over again. It's frustrating to watch. It's
Oh,
absolutely
this
irritating.
man has a sword. Don't go melee.
And then-
Michael.
Melee.
And then they,
Michael.
Yes.
you're talking about your game,
Topic.
and you're fucking interrupting me while you do it.
No,
as well.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. I was talking about Transformers.
What did you
Oh,
say?
you're just mumbling
Like,
it in a
oh,
way
the
that didn't sound like you're
Transformers.
talking about
Oh,
it.
that specific Transformer has a melee weapon. Don't go close to him. Use ranged. Next episode, they have a melee fight with him. That's what I was saying.
No, it's dumber than
I wasn't
that.
talking-
If I had £1 for every time one of the Autobots was picked up by a Decepticon and then thrown at their teammates to knock them down, I'll just buy the fucking rights off Hasbro and make and pay for a better fucking series.
Movie.
It was literally that almost every
that's
other
a
episode.
lot of times.
Yeah, every other episode was literally they got thrown into each other. And it wasn't that bad. On the first season, there was a few episodes where it just seemed like they were actually learning and working together. I mean, a few episodes, yeah. On the first season, a few episodes, and then it just dropped. Season 2 was a shit show completely. Season 3, the Combiner Wars, or Combiner Battles, what it was, that was just literally to sell shitty toys. There was no writing in that whatsoever.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pathetic.
I saw all of that. It was like, why if they made dinosaurs? Why is this a thing they need to do?
Dinosaurs.
How desperate does one have to
TV
be?
show you're
to
talking
do
about.
this?
Yeah. What are you
Yeah,
talking
How
about?
that's a
many-
TV show.
How many Transformer movies are there?
Movies?
4,
About
Yeah, with
6.
3 or 4.
what's his face in it?
If you include Bumblebee, it's 4.
No, it's
No,
6.
wait, no,
It's
it's
6.
way
Six.
fucking more.
Yeah. You got Transformers, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon after that, then it's Transformers Age of Extinction, then it's The Last Night, and then it's Bumblebee, so it's 6. And they're
Okay.
planning on making another
Could you
one.
please put them in order? Because I really badly want to see them in order.
The order I just told
Oh
you.
yeah, good luck getting it in order.
Okay. I've always wanted to watch the movies in order.
It was
I've just never had the chance.
Transformers,
Good luck with that.
then Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Transformers Age of Extinction,
Is
Uh,
there like
Transformers
any
Last Night
connection
and
between the two? Between
between
the episodes?
the movies. Okay,
Yeah, movies. Sorry.
yeah, more or less, yeah.
All right, cool.
Except for the Bumblebee movie, that was actually not made
Wasn't
by Michael
that
Bay, so it was
supposed to
slightly
be-
different. But it had like references
Wasn't
to
that-
the other movies.
Well, wasn't that supposed to be like before everything?
Oh yeah,
Before like the fight before before Michael Bay?
yeah. It's sort of a prequel sort of thing.
Yeah, it was the
everything.
prequel. That's what I meant.
But they still changed Optimus Prime's looks and they still adapted to it because obviously you can just do that. Obviously, people who just accept
Yeah,
if it's
you
better,
can
they
just
can accept
change-
it.
You just change things, but then you make, but then you accidentally make it worse, and you might have just fucked up there.
Yeah, as long as it's not worse, people will just accept the change, and it was not for the worse. They definitely improved it. They got the G1 sort of style of Optimus Prime, and they people like that. So yeah.
I like it a lot.
So yeah, I mean, that's how off task we get because we're on Transformers.
Yeah. Where were we? Where did we start?
We were
what task
on-
were we on?
We were originally on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, getting rid of
nice.
the dislike.
Yeah.
We got from. Okay, let's try and go for it. We got from YouTube removing the dislikes to
Stocks and how they work.
what and how they work?
Stocks.
Stocks.
Stocks and how they work.
Mm. And then we
And
got
then...
to
Oh, fuck.
Transformers.
No,
No, there's something before that.
Avengers was in there somewhere, but I can't remember if it was the
Avengers
next one.
was before that.
Like we get so far off task, it is probably painful and pisses people off.
Well, it's not
I'm
like
not-
it's
I
just
would not be
completely changed the
surprised if people got
subject.
pissed off.
It's like, well, actually, yeah, I'm the main person that does it. I
Sure,
like
fine.
ask a question about something that's slightly related to it, like owning the company,
That's modest.
and then stocks, owning the company, asking about stocks, how they work, and then going to women in power,
that was
to
it.
Doctor Who, to
You hating
Wait,
Marvel,
wait.
Captain Marvel.
me hating Captain Marvel, to how Avengers ended, to something else, to I can't remember.
It was to
We
it,
really
from,
are
it was
just
from
a shit
Marvel
show,
to
aren't we?
well, Avengers to Transformers. Because I said about
Yes,
how it seemed like they learned
Transformers.
nothing.
And then Transformer movies.
yeah, because it's annoying when people do that to try and prolong a series or make more movies. They just make sure that they just dumb down the characters again, make them weak so they get lost, fucked up.
Yeah, like in Pokemon, where
Yeah.
like Ash has basically had Pikachu for fucking years, has fought with him in almost every battle, and Pikachu still can't take
Never
on
evolved.
a weak ass fucking starter Pokemon in the next season of Pokemon. In the next, like when they went from Pokemon blah blah to Black and White, when he took on the fucking grass starter Pokemon, and he fucking lost. when that Pokemon is supposed to be like level 5. Pokemon is supposed to be the weakest it can get because it's the starting one. Like shit like that. When you freaking weaken down or nerf a character just so it can fit your movie, that's when you know you've made bad writing.
Yeah, I know. Because
Why not just make the enemy stronger? But then that doesn't
I
work
mean,
because it's unfair.
they could have at least just prevented the Hulk from interacting with Thanos. That's literally what they could have done. Because Hulk is a badass.
Oh yeah.
If you looked at I saw the videos about Hulk, and there's one about what he's achieved, what he's managed to overcome. It's ridiculous. I mean, in the actual cartoon series Avengers, he's managed to lift up an entire city above the water. At one point, he was
No,
only
that
doing
was
one
all of
hand.
Iron Man's too.
The mean purple man is too much.
Yeah, and it's like, and to prevent him from getting angrier, which makes him more powerful as law to Hulk. The angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
Yeah.
It just made him depressed, so he didn't actually fight, and he had to get in the suit. It's like, oh my god, just why? And they
Oh,
did-
that was
yeah.
Age of Ultron, wasn't it? Or was that
What?
Civil
No,
War?
No,
that was
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
and it was like,
It's both
When
happened
Hulk was
same
in the
movie.
Hulkbuster suit?
yeah,
When
it's like,
Bruce Banner.
No. No, it wasn't.
yeah, Bruce
Fuck
Banner
you
was
mean
in,
no?
Bruce Banner was in a suit in
yeah,
Infinity War.
yeah,
He
that's what I'm
was.
saying.
No, he wasn't.
He is. He was.
He
in
wasn't in a suit.
he was in
That
the
was in
Hulkbuster.
Age of Ultron.
No, it
Or-
wasn't.
Oh
Was-
my god, Michael.
In Age of Ultron, he beat the shit out of Ultron because Hulk is a badass, and he always will be. You literally, the Hulk jumped up to
Hey.
a
Hulk.
spaceship that's flying away. Hulk literally just jumped up to it,
Okay.
grabbed Ultron, and
Okay.
just chucked him out.
Wait. I'm
get
thinking
this
of something
straight.
completely
Let's get
different
this
then.
straight.
That's
Let's
good.
get this straight, Michael. Michael. To you, who is Hulk?
Hulk is Bruce Banner.
Okay.
He's
Who
the
is Bruce
Doctor.
Banner? He's the Doctor.
He's,
Okay.
he's basically
Now,
the Doctor. And
Hulk. What does he
Hulk.
do?
Hulk is the big green guy.
Okay, so Michael has a simple understanding of who Hulk is.
Yes.
Now, how in the ever living fuck did you think during the Age of Ultron, this bitch boy internet privacy e-boy
Oh,
managed to
hang on.
get into
Hang on. I know where I got mixed up. I remember, fuck, when Hulk goes
He
just
doesn't remember.
bust and so angry and everything, and Iron Man had to take care of him with his own type of Hulk.
And went
buster.
into a Hulkbuster, yes.
Yes. I remember
How-
seeing Hulk
Michael,
being in
do
that
you have
exact
some
same
sort of
suit.
do you have like some
I
sort of
remember Hulk
mental
being in that
illness?
exact same suit. That's why I'm getting muddled up.
What you're thinking is, in Infinity War, when
Hmm.
Banner was trying to talk to Hulk, Hulk made an appearance to say no in the suit. It was just weird because Hulk was like, "No, I've lost, so I'm gonna have a temper tantrum," instead of getting angry and just fucking up Thanos with his ultra angriness.
For fuck's sake, Michael.
And they did that
You
so they can make a
life
second movie.
painful. You make life legitimately painful sometimes.
If Hulk just
Although
got
you
even
still make me
angrier
laugh.
after being thrown off the ship or whatever the fuck happened to him,
Yeah,
would've
he
been-
went into the unwanted zone, didn't he? Where they met up, where Thor and Hulk met up after he was essentially thrown into the no-go zone or wherever it was called.
Yeah, or something. I can't remember too much.
Yeah,
But
I can't remember what it's called because I really just didn't much care.
yeah, I mean,
It was cool that the woman managed to just grab the hammer and fucking break it though. That was neat.
that's cool.
Yeah. And it had a good backstory about it, like how she was a fucking she used to essentially be, oh my god, Odin's right hand woman, I suppose.
When
Although it was pretty cliche that she just got power hungry and Odin had to lock her away. That was pretty cliche.
I mean, well, yeah, but there is most of Thor and Odin is based off Viking folklore anyway, so it would be cliche because it's from the Viking period mostly,
Would have to
or it's
be.
inspired by.
Mm.
And cliche is an issue for me. If it's done well, I like it. If it's done bad, it's just bad. I don't think cliches are effective at all.
Mm.
I mean, just saying because it's a cliche is like saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's talking." It's like he's an actor or something. It's like, yeah, no shit.
it's
That's
fine,
what I
but,
that's what I
like,
have the issue with. 'Cause, yeah, it's a part of the movie. The fact that you've seen it before is because you watched too many movies. You fuck. Don't complain to the movies because you've seen it before.
It's funny because I never actually. I don't watch that many movies.
But you watch reviews of movies that tell you they're cliches, so you go, "Oh yeah,
Oh
it is
yeah.
cliche." And that's
Oh
the
yeah,
issue.
definitely. I definitely watched the everything wrong with blah blah blah.
And that's the issue because they always say, "Oh, it's a cliche," but I like it. They shove it in every movie you want. It was entertaining. It's like with Pirates of the Caribbean, how people say Jack Sparrow is just the what's it called?
A theory
Exactly
came out
right.
that the reason he walks around the way he does is because it's how he has to run around on a ship that's swaying left to right.
Oh yeah, no, that's the thing. I've been on
Always
the boat
because
for
he's
a
always
week.
drunk.
Oh yeah, well,
That's what everyone assumes. It's like, oh, he's just a drunken sod. That's why he's walking around on that. No, it's just that he's just simulated the
rocking of
the
a
walking
boat.
around on a boat. Yeah,
Yeah,
but on the land.
I know that because I was on a boat holiday and I was on a boat for a week, and
He's
towards the end of
still
it,
walking around like that.
towards the end of it, when I was sitting down in the restaurant, I was swaying myself because I was so used to the swaying of the boat
Mm.
that I actually started swaying myself in the restaurant. And it makes
Hmm.
sense.
Same happens to me when I run on a treadmill. When I get off the treadmill, my legs just go like, all right, you've got to move forward, go forward, go forward. I'm like, no, I'm standing still. Why are we trying to do this?
That's when you've never been on a treadmill.
Yeah.
I have been on a treadmill. Fuck you. I've been on a. Michael, you went to the gym with me. Every time we went.
Sure.
I also
I
went
don't
to the
remember
gym when I
this.
was back in college. You don't remember this because you have the fucking memory retention of a sieve.
Hey, we can't trust you for memory, that's for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, we had to remind you 3 times that the stream was starting around 7, not 3.
When did you say the stream was starting again?
So yeah,
The...
about 2 hours ago, really. That's when
Ah.
it's starting.
That's 2 hours ago.
How long do we keep the podcast for?
About
2 hours.
We've got 28 minutes, to be honest.
28 minutes.
Yeah,
What
2
can we
hours.
talk about for 28 minutes?
I mean, we've figured it out for the last 1 hour and a half.
Yeah.
That's very true.
I
Of
was
It's not
course.
that hard.
I was talking about something, but I've been sidetracked. What the...
Just Marvel in general.
Yeah, well, we'll go back to Marvel, because, with the Hulk, I mean, he does so many things, and they, they just literally prevented him from attacking Thanos,
Hulk
because they knew...
depressed now.
Yeah, so they can, keep him alive, because normally, if it was like in the cartoon series or in a comic, Hulk would just got even angrier at that defeat, and become stronger and throwing him about like a chew toy.
And just got back up.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally... Okay, so a Hulk gets knocked down by being thrown into the ground, essentially, right?
Mhm.
Meanwhile, we watched fucking Hulkbuster get him to the ground, threw him through a fucking building,
Mm.
missiles and everything, collapsed completely. He then got punched multiple times in the fucking face by a jackhammer,
Mm.
but like
It's
a jackhammer
definitely
ran by like 12 nuclear fucking batteries.
Mm.
And then, like, of course, like the last punch where he was taken off guard and was started to calm down, and
Mm.
that's how he got. That's how he got knocked out. That's all that to knock him out. Meanwhile, Thanos just had to punch him in the gut a couple times, maybe once in the face, and just threw him in the ground,
Yeah.
and he's done.
Did Thanos have the glove on at the time?
Yes.
Yes, but it wasn't. It only had like one
Ah.
Infinity Stone or something like that. And he didn't even use that stone to attack him. He just punched him with the glove. Wasn't there like?
It
Wasn't
just
there like a fucking?
we just
power
went
punch.
full boxing.
Yeah. And
Like what?
it was pointless. I mean, oh fuck, where was I?
He lost himself.
Yeah, even when he was defeated by the Hulkbuster, it was because he wasn't actually angry. He was tricked.
Manipulated.
Yeah, he's manipulated. So when he got punched in the face repeatedly, it sort of knocked him out of his sense or back into sense, and he sort of calmed down. If he was normal angry, let's say he was angry at Iron Man for a specific reason, punch him in the face pretty like that, probably wouldn't have done it. Hulk isn't satisfied until he gets what he wants. And unfortunately, at that point, what was going on wasn't what he wanted anyway.
That's why he started to calm down by the end of it.
Yeah.
Because he finally figured out that what he was doing was a bad thing. And now we have nothing to talk about. Do we have like another subject to talk about? Did we even fully get through the dislike thing?
Yeah, I was about to say we can finish off the dislike thing if we want.
Hmm.
um,
Did we? Did we get?
I mean,
Where were we?
this is a bad thing, I suppose. In a way, it definitely is a bad thing because it's just pointless.
I mean, they're making it optional. They're taking away. Aren't they taking away the counter optionally?
That's
You
what
get
I
an
was,
option to
that
get
was
rid
another
of
thing I
it?
was going to come about because it didn't actually say because they say they can see it, but they don't say that they can choose to keep it in, like the person who created
Hmm.
the videos or the
Like,
YouTuber.
would it be the equivalent of taking the comments down?
Hmm. It should be.
But it's
And
not.
but yeah, we don't know. They might change it. They might do something like that after they realise that people are. If so,
Yeah,
YouTubers actually
after they get the backlash.
after YouTubers say that they'd rather have their viewers see their dislikes, they might make it an option or just bringing it back altogether.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's probably still going to happen nonetheless, even if people don't even like it.
Oh yeah.
Because in all essence,
Nobody likes it, but they're
it-
still gonna do it.
in all essence, it is just because of YouTube Rewind. Oh, that was what I was going to say. I remember what I was actually going to say
When's
about
that
that.
gonna happen, by the way?
What?
YouTube Rewind.
Oh, God
Or
knows. I mean,
Hmm.
obviously they said they couldn't because of pandemic, but this year, I
Um,
don't know. They might be pulling out some other excuse. It's
Because of pandemic, there's a lazy excuse.
What was the biggest thing this year?
this
The
year.
pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, and YouTube wise, I don't know. I wasn't actually watching many news things on YouTube, so I have completely lost what is the importance of YouTube. Because let's be honest, what I watch on YouTube and what is actually on YouTube Rewind rarely coincides. They rarely.
Well, normally
you know,
YouTube Rewind was meant to be memes and stuff, like the best of it. But every single time so far, it's been like shitty, cancer research. It's not cis shitty cancer research, but it's like not the important.
Oh no, the previous one was about dick sucking. Really, they're like, oh, these people are great.
What?
They're sucking people off constantly. They're like, oh, these people are great.
What?
These people are great. These people are great.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, essentially is the
Hmm.
word that I use. Not practically.
Oh, this YouTube Rewind is just people sucking each other off.
I mean, it would have fucking done better if they did that. But they can just live with them on the better fucking likes to disrate.
Just giving
like
every
ratio.
YouTube video a rim job.
Yeah, just YouTubers sitting down giving random people rim jobs is literally would have been the fucking summing up of YouTube Rewind back then. They might as well just done that, and they would have got less dislikes. And that's when I come back to actually with dislikes. I don't dislike videos because I don't think it's important. I'm like, I don't like this, but obviously I don't care that people need this information. I'll just leave it. If I don't like something, I'll just stop watching it or leave it. I don't need to say that I don't like it because it's my opinion. Whether most people would dislike it or not, it won't stop people from actually watching it, does it? Because people,
No, but like it does help with telling people like, oh, I did something wrong here. Let's
Yeah.
check it out. If you're that self-aware.
but yeah, but that's for
Um,
the YouTuber, which they always see the dislikes anyway. We're talking like viewers here, and that's what they're saying. It's
Oh yeah,
hiding it
but
from.
like, you know how you go on YouTube and you do tutorials to fucking
Hmm.
find out how to do things. But
Yeah,
people tend to do a lot of likes and do very little amount of dislikes.
yeah.
Well, if it's a shitty tutorial, they'll dislike it.
Yeah, but
God damn
even
it.
then, I still watch it just in case because it might help me where it didn't help others. And that's the thing about even YouTube Rewind. It was the most disliked thing before I even saw it, and yet I still chose to see it because I wanted my opinion on it.
And you regretted it immediately.
And it was actually the only video I actually disliked because it needed to be disliked. I actually genuinely hated what they did because not only does it have the fucking baby shark thing, which I despise to the very core.
Oh fucking god! Oh
the
no!
desperate attention to fucking get kids' attention that was. Fucking- It was
What
pathetic.
what it's meant to be is the most popular videos of that year. Like a couple years ago, it was
Yeah.
Pineapple, Gangnam Style. It was all the really, really, really
Yeah.
world stuff. Like,
And it was popular YouTubers and stuff.
yeah,
It was proper. This is what
PewDiePie,
YouTube was
Markiplier,
this year.
Jacksepticeye,
This
stuff
was the
like that.
best
Yeah,
we had, and they
PewDiePie should
ignored
just be
that.
in every fucking episode, every single rewind.
Yeah, well, he
he
So
should.
should.
should
But...
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast definitely too.
Yeah.
Oh, he should. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, those two should get together and just pay for their own rewind and just do that. To be honest, 'cause they really shouldn't.
They would make a
wait for-
better rewind.
Yeah. And but no, the thing is, and the thing that annoyed me the most when they started butt licking people and going, "Oh, thank you to all these people," and they went to the single mums. Nothing about single dads. Like, how shit do you have to be at creating a borderline basic video that you even ignore the basic borderlines that are set up? I mean,
Basic people.
it will even cross your head. Okay, there's single mums, and there should surely be single dads. It didn't fucking cross their
Oh, yeah.
minds.
No.
They listed everything. They put everything on the list they could butt lick, except for the one thing that should be fucking obvious to them when they brought up single mums. It's like, you can't even be asked to do your own shitty way properly. If you can't even shit properly, that should be a concern. And yet they failed to shit properly, and that really pissed me off because like you really can't do anything right, even when it's shit.
Mm.
You fuck up shit so bad. Like, how is that possible?
It's one. Okay, it's basically it's all fucked. It's all
Yeah.
pandering. It's everything. Everything bad. Everything.
That's it.
Everything people assume is just true because it is what we've had to deal with from the pretty much the very beginning.
Mm. But
Because they're not gonna. They haven't changed their ways since they fucking began. So anything
got
we
in charge.
assume tends to be correct. Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, and the thing is, they said you say that there's just a pandering, but like I said, they couldn't do that right because they ignored something crucial like single fathers.
But
Is
they
it-
don't care about single fathers.
Evidently not. They couldn't
Yeah,
even bother to give
because-
them the shitty
because
2
it-
pence of fucking information.
because it's
in
not-
their thing.
Because it's not PC enough.
Mm.
PC for
Because
me and you. Woo, woo.
it basically, well, you know how there are people out there who basically want to kill all men, right?
Yeah, well, I know that.
But if
Well,
you say
remember
kill all
I said
women,
pandering. They're pandering to them as well.
Yeah, well, the thing is, well, I'm hoping to believe that they just overlooked it and didn't actually go, no, better not have the fathers in it. They might not like that. I hope they didn't fucking do that. Otherwise, they did. YouTube
I
is the
would
biggest
not be
piece of
surprised.
scum. I'm gonna pretend they don't. They didn't do
I love how we're saying all this, while we're planning on posting this onto YouTube. Like one
Yeah.
of our first ever videos is just going to be us shitting on YouTube.
it. Well, one of the proper ones at least. Yeah.
Hi YouTube, thank you for one of our first YouTube videos. Fuck you, by the way, you're scum.
Well, yeah, we're not exactly biting the hand that feeds us anyway, because they're fucking biting us
They
constantly.
don't feed us in the first place.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the YouTube platform isn't what the issue here. The platform's great. The people in charge of it is the issue. I mean, we can use the platform where we want. It has nothing to do with the people actually on the actual who's in charge of it, because they clearly have nothing to do with it because they just have no clue what's going on. They just put the head out, fuck shit up, and then go back
is it
home.
on?
I don't know how they managed to do that while being in charge of a platform, not being in charge of it. But still, you can literally the platform itself, the concept I should say, is brilliant, and we can keep using it as all we want. But you know but the people who are in charge of it we've got to complain about it. You can't not say anything about this because they more than said about it. But yeah, it's that's it. All we've got to do now is see what happens if they actually go through with it, which I assume they will, because it's something people don't want.
They
and that's
will.
Because
They don't want. People don't want it, so they're gonna go through with it.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what happens to it after they go through it.
I hope it crashes and burns.
It will. It will probably
I
be
mean,
one of the things.
people are already like leaving YouTube to go join other fucking social media shit.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Pornhub will be
I
better to go.
don't think I'm. Yeah, I don't think I'll be leaving anytime soon. To be completely honest,
Yeah, I don't know.
because you know I've got all my favorite YouTubers here. Like
not for long.
they would
Yeah, not
have
for
to
long.
leave for some. Yeah, they would have to leave somewhere else for me to follow them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That would be the only way.
I mean,
You know, this was ages and ages and ages ago, but I'm pretty sure the biggest fuck up that the Facebook streaming platform made was giving Ninja. Why the fuck would he turn? Was giving Ninja the £10 million deal.
on Facebook streaming thing.
It was a certain thing
Yeah,
that
I
was
know
owned
what you're
by
talking
Facebook.
about. I think it wasn't Facebook. It was an
It was
Xbox
owned.
streaming thing.
By Facebook.
Xbox is owned by Facebook.
No, Xbox
The
is Microsoft.
Xbox streaming platform was owned by Facebook.
Okay.
The actual streaming platform was owned by Facebook.
Okay.
The more you know. Or Michael's just fucking lying, or doesn't know shit.
Yeah, or just has completely mixed
Oh,
something
I
up.
swear.
Michael just doesn't know what he's talking about.
Um,
I mean, it's more likely Michael doesn't know what the
I'm
hell
certain
he's
he's
talking
made a mistake because I'm pretty sure I remember what he's talking about. Some paying Ninja a ridiculous amount of money to do something, but I can't actually remember where. I don't think it was Facebook. I don't think Xbox was actually involved either. Wait, where was Ninja? What was his original platform?
Twitch.
Twitch.
Mixer.
That was it. Mixer, yeah. The fucking, that man. That
Mixer
thing's
was
gone.
owned by Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Or,
Yeah, he took the thing with Mixer and then Mixer fell through.
what company
Yeah.
does Facebook own?
No, Facebook owns plenty of things, I suppose.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Facebook hasn't gotten in trouble yet for monopolizing, because apparently it's against the law to create a monopoly. I mean, they've basically created a monopoly on the VR headsets.
have they?
Yeah, they have, because Valve has stopped
For that
making
time, Mixer will be
stuff.
fully acquired by Facebook Gaming, becoming one of the largest twitching competitors by watch hours. Mixer partners will be granted partner status with Facebook Gaming, and the platform will honor and match all existing partners' agreements as closely as possible.
Cool. Is it Mixer gone though?
Oh, boy.
So now Facebook is owned by formerly known as Mixer, but Facebook owns Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus VR, Kong, LiveRail, and Thrusted.
Nice,
WhatsApp is 19 billion.
There are other VR sets though. There's the Vive and the Valve Index. Those are two headsets that are still going.
Yeah,
I mean, the Valve Index. The reason why I haven't done anything with it is because it's way ahead of its fucking technology when it came out. To be honest, it was ahead of the others the second it came out, and it's probably still quite good. Well, I've got it; it is still quite good. And it's
But it's super fucking expensive.
yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to save it up.
I'm surprised you managed to afford it.
I'm very efficient at saving shit up.
And stealing money.
What I do to make that money is not official. That's a joke.
Wait,
obviously.
what?
No, that's a joke. Don't you start talking, you just make things worse.
Yeah, Michael.
What's this about saying drug to minors, Evan?
Excuse me?
Hey, the miners have to spend all that time in the fucking caves and getting with the coal. They deserve some fucking drugs.
Well, this is taking a turn.
Well, I was expecting to laugh when they play the words there, but you know what? Fuck it. I suppose it wasn't that funny.
No.
Actually, Michael might have found it funny if he listened, which he clearly isn't.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't, so
Yeah.
ain't ever gonna happen. He's not even paying attention to the
Oh my
video he's
god!
watching.
Yes, this is the guy I was thinking about.
Yeah, Carl Rittenhouse.
Yeah, Carl Rittenhouse, he's not guilty.
Yeah, he's not
Oh.
guilty.
He was the guy where the guy was speaking to him, saying, if you run into a burning building... No, if you were in a burning building, would you run out? Yes. Why would you do that? Because it's burning.
Did he
Like,
really ask
what-
that question?
He genuinely asked that question. I'm gonna get the clip up.
I mean, that prosecution, the job of a
Rittenhouse
prosecution
trial.
is to try and get the guy arrested,
Yeah.
no matter what. Even if he has to lie in front of the judge, even if he has to lie in front of God himself, he
Yeah.
has to try and get him arrested or charged. The problem is he does it so scummily.
And shitly.
Like he lies, pretty much every sentence that came out of his mouth was just pure lies, except from when he was telling the truth. Like some, I know, but
Sounds about
he
right.
basically would actually make at the very beginning, right? It was okay because at the very beginning he was pretty much making the defense for the defendant. And after that, like when he started cross-examining and all that, he started trying to like put ideas in the defendant's head, and then also he did something very illegal. Like I'm surprised this guy wasn't arrested for doing that. I don't understand how illegal it is, but apparently it's a very big no-no to talk about a defendant um being silent. You know how they say you have the right to remain silent
Mm.
and all that. Apparently, it's a very big no-no to mention that and then say, "Well, if he was not guilty, then why was he silent?" Apparently, it's a very big no-no, and it was um it was not supposed to be said. Essentially, and he got in trouble for it. I mean, he wasn't arrested; he was just shouted at by the judge.
Mm. That sounds about
But
fair,
yeah.
to be honest. To be perfectly honest, it might have been just a mistake on his behalf.
Nah, maybe, but like a mistake like that should not be tolerated either way because
Well, it clearly wasn't because he was told
something like
off.
that. Something, yeah.
He was
obviously, but
it
like,
was directed that he should not do it again. If he does it again, then it's fair
Hmm.
enough. Yeah, if they don't arrest him or do something actual proper about it, then that's fine.
but like he also withheld evidence as well. He also withheld evidence. That's what I tried to say. Like while defendant gets like this really shitty pixelated video of what happened that night, um the prosecution got these like HD, like you could see clear as day, video, while the defendant didn't. And apparently that's a no-no as well because the defendant and the prosecution are supposed to get the exact same evidence. Like you can't even put evidence in after the trial has started because you've got to give the defendant the evidence to be able to see what's happened and then like make a defense against it. You can't put evidence midway through. You can't like put evidence afterwards. Like it's a big no-no.
Mm.
Like it was like
Yeah.
it was such a big no-no that it was very much considered that they were just going to get a mistrial with prejudice because, which basically means it would be a mistrial and the trial will end there. He would essentially be declared not innocent, but like they can't trial him again.
Mm.
He'll be set free because of how badly they did that shit.
Yeah. That's. I mean,
But yeah.
yeah. We have completely jumped subject. Like we haven't even diverted. That was a complete jump. I should point
Well,
out.
Michael's watching a YouTube video that he shouldn't.
It was Michael's fault.
Graphical video allegedly shows allegedly, okay, allegedly shows 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse shooting 3 people too fatally in Kenasha.
Yes.
And I was watching
yes,
this
he did
video
do
that was 3 hours long. I looked in the comments, and this person said in the comments, where was it?
Okay. Well, we did jump subject, so can we try and remember what the fuck we was talking about before?
We were talking about the dislike, and then Michael watched a YouTube video because he's a fucking idiot.
Yes.
Yeah, but where did we lead from that?
We were talking about how. Wait, didn't we talk about YouTube Rewind and how PewDiePie and Mr. Beast should just make their own YouTube
yeah.
Rewind? And how they would just do a better job anyway.
We practically finished with the dislike, but yeah, with the rewind, that it annoyed me how they did completely ignore the single fathers, and I'm just hoping that they have overlooked it, and not genuinely ignored it purposely to try and
Insult them.
to try and what was it you said to the Man haters.
Pander.
Pan.
Pander to the man haters.
Yeah. The female sexists. Well, the feminazis I like to
Yeah.
call them because they adopt the
Yes,
actual name
that is
feminist.
that is the term for them.
Yeah.
They are the feminazis, and this is their story.
They adopt the good title of feminist to actually take care of women who have been mistreated because of their gender. They just adopt that name so they can just be sexist and completely unnecessarily violent.
Mm. Well, this is what happens when you don't look after your cause.
Mm.
If you
Well, it's
don't
not-
check people who are rising the power in your cause,
Mm.
then you'll just hire someone who's gonna corrupt your cause and
Well, the thing
cause
is,
a lot of trouble.
it's not in their cause. They've simply adopted the name, just completely grabbed it. It's like, oh, he's a feminist. Well, I'm a feminist now. There's no. They've actually in a part of a cause. These causes actually do go out to countries where women, or I don't say they actually do that, but they will try and get out to countries where women have been mistreated and help them get them out of the country or whatever. And that's the actual causes. The people who just stay behind their computers just so they can adopt the name because they feel they kind of do the same thing. That's the issue.
Just record themselves on fucking TikTok and all that.
I mean, alright,
Michael,
some of them,
you're
if
still
they are
watching
genuine
YouTube
feminists
videos.
and they do try and help, but obviously can't actually get out and help, that's fair enough. But if they're the ones who just hate men and just say, oh, well, I try and get, men away from doing that stuff, they just go, oh, I'm a feminist. I mean, there's a difference. Feminists help women and try and stop the bad men. The feminazis just try and stop men altogether. It's sort of like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of like going, well, if we just burn every gun, we won't have any violence, sort of attitude to it.
Oh no, we'll get a bunch of violence. Especially those who just don't fucking give the guns back. They'll use the guns they've managed to keep to oppress those who don't have the guns.
No, not even that. I'm saying if we actually somehow managed to get every gun on the planet
Or
and
just
removed it,
snap every gun.
yeah, it won't stop people from being violent. They just pick up sticks, baseball bats, fucking lumps of metal, rusty metal, anything, and start hitting each other with that. Fuck it, they'll just start throwing that shit. And they have their own version of guns, just their arm. And throw that thing.
Yeah. Well,
It's now 9 o'clock.
Well, London is a epicenter of knife crimes. People are being murdered by knives.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, because they took away guns, now we have to deal with fucking kids stabbing each other.
Yeah. But introducing guns is not an issue. It will not resolve that, I would like to point out. Before we go down that road. Before we go down that road, we went before. It's not.
Guns are going to be used for more crime in this country than actual good.
Yeah. I mean, it'll cause more accidents just purely from imbeciles getting hold of guns, to be perfectly honest. People in this country do go mental.
It will
over
do
anything
more
new.
worse than good in this country.
Definitely.
Let me just say that the good guy in the gun does exist.
It may exist, but not in this country.
I mean, certainly-
Because there are so many idiots already in London that have guns that you do bad things with guns, and guns
Is
aren't
it?
even legal.
So, hold on, what? I think I had a stroke. What was that?
Yeah, I feel like I had
So many people in London who already have guns that shouldn't have guns,
Oh yeah.
that are
No,
doing bad
no-
stuff with guns.
Well, there are some people who illegally own guns in the country.
Yeah.
But that's a case of bad policing generally. And that
That's
can't
not
be-
bad policing. That's just they
That's
allowed
just
them for their cash
criminals
ones.
getting around the law because that's what criminals do.
Yeah.
They go around the law.
That's why actually allowing people to carry some sort of knife will actually help more often because people will be able to defend themselves with those knives, and then obviously yes, people will be more stabbed at the point because you're introducing a new thing in this country. Like I said,
Well,
people go
the
mad.
problem with that
But if you
is
introduce it,
you've made it.
because the thing is, stopping people from carrying knives isn't going to stop criminals unless they get caught. But that's not so often nowadays because the fucking government don't fund the policing so much. I mean, the policemen can't be on the road all the time, and that's an issue. So we'll just take advantage of that.
Well,
Hello.
the problem. Oh,
Hello.
what the fuck?
Are we not in the-
Hello.
podcast channel.
Oh, hello, Joe.
No,
I
we're in
don't
the.
think so.
We're not. We're not.
Shit.
We're supposed to be in the Octask. Whoops.
What?
You dipshit.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
that was some poor planning.
Well,
It was
we
going
have
so
done it
well.
for 2 hours, so
It's literally the last, what, 2 minutes? Less than
Oh
a
no,
minute
it's
left.
2 minutes.
We're 6
we're over
minutes
time.
We're 6 minutes over.
Should we stop the record and say goodbye here?
Oh, no,
I suppose we could say
that's the
goodbye.
timer. Inspirational quote? Anybody here?
Inspirational quote.
Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
I knew Michael would say something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
of
would say
course,
something
of
derogatory
course.
like that. Let's see.
Welcome to our new special
There
guest,
was
by the
actually
way.
there was a quote. There was actually our special guest who was just gonna-
One thing that has brought us the most, that we talked about the most was Avengers. Do you have a quote from Avengers?
If it's inspirational,
Uh,
for sure.
A quote each?
No, just the one.
Each.
Just no,
Go
just the
fuck
one.
yourself.
Just the one.
There's a lot.
No, just,
Fuck.
Yeah, so many of them, but can't think of a single one.
just pick one inspirational
Yeah,
quote
one
and we can end it.
There was something I heard earlier, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember.
There we go. If we're going to win this fight, some of us might have to lose it.
I'm accepting that.
Boy.
Okay, well,
That's the end of the podcast. Thank you for
I
watching.
promise you these inspirational quotes will get better because eventually we will start planning them.
Yes,
Yeah. Or I love you 3000.
that's
Fuck's
not an inspirational
sake.
quote. That's just okay.
Just a thing that two couples say, or a father to a child would say.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm ending the stream now. Bye.
Bye.
And the video.